intrinsic, then the search for intrinsic value started. What is this crazy thing called intrinsic value? Then slowly intrinsic value is,
which led you to the concept of margin of safety?
Margin of safety. And then
explain that. How do you use that? What does it mean to you?
Yeah, margin of safety, the concept obviously came in 95, 96, but I could sense that what he's saying, there is a formal value, there are three values. One is the book value, second is the intrinsic value, and third is the market value. So market value obviously has to be far lower than the intrinsic value for any stock to be bought. But the issue is, the trick is in understanding the intrinsic value itself. If you can reach the intrinsic value, there is no issue about you being successful or not.
It's pretty much guaranteed. Yeah. The odds would be in your favor.
Yeah.
And you understood it from various aspects, because I know of you personally over a long period of time.
Yeah.
One of your big calls was, say, buying a Hero Honda.
Yeah.
And you saw in that intrinsic value?
Yes, clearly. I think one of the things was that I somehow always was a growth company investor, but the buying growth at right price or buying ahead of the growth is the real trick to make money. So in Hero Honda, what happened was that when we went to meet them and we realized that currently, first thing what fascinated me was that in 95, 96, the product was in short supply, clearly in short supply. And I had personally experienced what the characteristics of the product is, because I was one of the allottees in 1985 of the first batch of Hero Honda.
And you grew up in Raipur, where people use two-wheelers.
Yes. So, I realized that what is the power of personal transport and importance of two-wheeler, and then I saw that there's a shortage of the product, shortage. And we had seen the Bajaj Auto shortage for ages. So, that combined with the upcoming second plant. I mean, the plans for that was not known to the market at large, and it was, the whole company was elaborated about 500 crores with a turnover of about 11, 1200, 1300 crores.
Your margin of safety.
Yeah, and expected profit of about 100 crores. So 5, 6 PE you were getting.
So you had a circle of competency that you understood this business, and a margin of safety, you're getting it cheap in both those. And over the third leg which you added is the compounding factor.
Yeah, then the real research starts after having bought the stock. I mean, you got it right.
Invest first, then investigate. We'd love to go on and on, but we need to take a break. We'll pause, we'll come back, we'll chat some more with Ramdeeo Agarwal on the Wizards of Dalal Street. The goddess Lakshmi must be the mascot of my guest today, Ramdeeo Agarwal, because he spent his life devoting to the study of wealth. Ramdeeo, you study in wealth creation. You've done a lot of them for your firm and for the general investing public. What are the key takeaways from your study in wealth creation?
One thing is that every year we keep getting some insight into the entire process, because future keeps unfolding new surprises in terms of what can create wealth. One of the things which we understood earlier, in the first 3-4 studies till about 99-2000, was the brands and technologies, they dominate the wealth creation because there is huge entry barrier and they keep making extraordinary profits, and commodities and the conglomerates are bad word.
Right, and that flipped around after 2000.
And then from 99 till about 2002-03, it was still tech all the way. Now this study, which is just about completed, and I'm talking about the stocks bought in 99 and sold in 2004. If you look at 60% of the wealth is created by commodities, and I think for the next study it could be even bigger. So first conclusion is that it was considered, even by the Warren Buffetts of the world or whatever, that commodity is a bad, dirty word in terms of stock market wealth creation, but the facts are proving to be otherwise.
If you buy them cheap enough, you can make a ton of money in anything almost.
Yes, I think you can make money out of anything so long as your purchase price is right. So I think one of the mistakes, I have come to realize after practicing in stock market and after doing all these studies, that you do anything, whether you buy great companies, you buy dirty companies, you buy mediocre companies. If you buy it at the right price with a huge margin of safety, what's the company, you should have a deeper margin of safety. I think you are home.
That's what mom used to say, buy things wholesale. That's what she did shopping at.
Yeah.
But Ramdeeo, you've become a guru to a lot of people also. You've had an extraordinary career, small town boy from Raipur, office in Nariman Point today. What would you give advice to young people who want to get into this business?
I think one of the things is that there's no shortcuts to making it in the stock market. Second is that remain focused. Keep trying to keep your targets. Do hard work and keep trying to learn. The questions will get answered. and all the questions will be answered in the books and as you go in practice. I think two things we practice in Motilal Oswal Securities. First is that never borrow and invest in the equity markets, and second is never speculate. I think these two things I'll keep suggesting them, and relentlessly, if you have passion to learn what is the intrinsic value and what is the value price gap, what is the margin of safety, and I think if you read books like Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett's letters to the shareholders, Common Stocks, Uncommon Profits by Phil Fisher. I think these are the books, and then rest all your own destiny, and you'll be able to go higher.
So reading is important component of being successful in the market?
Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the handicaps we had in the first 10 years is that you didn't have access to any of the books.
We'll talk about another stock. We talked about Hero Honda. Another stock that's very keenly associated with you was Bharti Telecom. Did you see in that a franchise in the making which the market missed in its early debut?
Yes, in Bharti Telecom, there are two things which happened. One is that I had read something on network investing, network businesses, how do they work? I mean, what is the impact of network and how they are exponential in character. And another learning was that to make exponential money, you need to have underlying exponential model. You know, these two, and when I saw it, and I knew that if you can get this kind of company at a reasonable price, which is about price to book 1, I think you must buy it in kind of really with a lot of confidence.
But
and
it wasn't a classic value stock. I mean, it was, there's a technology risk in the business, there was an execution risk in the business.
No, what I could see is that wireless is a huge opportunity.
It's the remote control of life, they say.
Yeah, almost like that. And there are few players. The basic thing was the entry barriers were very high. Not only in terms of license, but even to execute and make it happen successfully was very tough. And Bharti was one company which had got Delhi going and all over the rest of
acquisitions.
India. You know, so I thought this is the only play, and it was available at very reasonable price of price to book 1. I mean, I didn't know that it is going to be so successful as an investment. It's only afterthought that things have become so good. But I thought in next 2-3 years it will become double.
Ramdeeo, you've been through 20 years in the stock market. You look back on your career. What do you wish that you know now that you wish you'd known 20 years back?
I think you need to get to that impatient stage. You know, before I think you need to commit those X amount of mistakes before you
become
appreciate. Before you appreciate that something is good. Because if I give to my son all the wisdom I have, I don't think he's going to appreciate, because he has to commit all the mistakes when he realizes that this is the right way.
That's what they call the fine in the stock market, paying those debit bills of mistakes you make.
Yeah, I think all the mistakes, I mean, buying junk companies, buying at wrong prices, suddenly, I mean, you have to go through all those hiccups and anxiety of not making it happen, and then suddenly you realize that with the markets you are, you go like ping pong with the market.
But now, having been through all this, does this market going up and down, this huge volatility, does it scare you, or because you're investing on principles, you take it in your stride?
I think if I know my story well and my underlying business is doing well, if I am sure that Hero Honda is selling say 25% more bikes, his EPS remains at say 45-50 and the P is about 11-12, and they are giving me dividend of whatever 60-70%. I'm not really worried whether it is quoted 500 or 450, or because in my mind, because another thing which I learned very recently, what is investing? I mean, after 20 years in the stock market, I realized what is investing.
And what is it, Ramdeeo?
And it is, when you buy when you buy anything only for dividends into perpetuity, for dividends, period, that's called investing. You never buy anything for selling. I think when the selling is in your mind, I think it is some kind of a speculation. Maybe it's a glorified investment or whatever, but it's not truly investing. But that's one extreme of what you call investing, and other extreme is, of course, you have the day traders who only look at the price next half an hour.
Always there are many breeds. Also, when I introduced you on the show, I promised they would see the wisdom and wealth from Ramdeeo Agarwal, which is exactly what you've delivered. Thank you, Ramdeeo, for a great interview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we'll join you next week on another episode of the Wizards of the Large Street.